In an unexpected turn of events, I am back with more news. It keeps finding me, hunting me down despite my attempts to get away from it. I'm like old man Logan in the titular film, Logan. Always loved the word titular, thought it was funny. Batgirl allegedly, apparently, and now confirmedly, that's not a word, is canceled. It's not being released. This was confirmed earlier today by Deadline, actually. So this is confirmed by major news outlets. CBR, my old nemesis, my enemy, has a little bit to throw in the ring here as well, but we're going to get into this. Please be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content. Channel's been in a very, very odd place lately. I'm definitely keeping my head down after not loving the microtransactions and multiverses. I think I'm public enemy now, but we haven't been growing, so I need your help to get out of that. Now, here's the thing with Batgirl. This movie was always kind of in a weird place. It was a fairly large budget movie for a streaming service, I should say, in terms of what they were trying to do. It was supposedly going to be about like a $70 to $90 million budget. Most numbers I see are 70, but now, of course, it is canceled. It is not going to be happening according to the New York Post, The Wrap, The Hollywood Reporter, Variety, and confirmed by Deadline. WB had nothing to say about it. However, there were a lot of guesses on why this was happening. This was supposedly going to be an HBO Max first or HBO Max exclusive movie starring Leslie Grace as Batgirl. Michael Keaton was going to return as Bruce Wayne following whatever happens with the dumpster fire currently around The Flash and Ezra Miller and the shenanigans of Parcheesi gun pulling and cultural appropriation assumptions and dear God, do not get Flash's pronouns wrong, even though there are now grooming allegations of children and everything around this person. What a nightmare. Anyways, you know, with all of this happening, everybody's kind of looking at The Flash and wondering what's going to happen, what's going on. And of course, Batgirl was kind of sneaking by in the background, but it appears that Batgirl has kind of finally found itself in the grave. There was a lot of speculation around why Batgirl has been canceled. One of the claims was that the test screenings were terrible. If that is actually true, unless we get some kind of weird insider coming out and talking about that and confirming it somehow with proof, because there was an insider who talked about it, but there was literally no proof and it was anonymous and everything like normal. I don't think we'll ever be able to really know about that unless someone comes out years later and talks about it. But we do know that it's gone, and actually originally, despite those claims, studio insiders eventually insisted that the decision was not driven by the quality of the film or commitment to filmmakers, but by the desire for the studio's slate of DC features to be a blockbuster scale, as in they didn't think it was a big enough deal, they didn't think it was worth enough money, and they didn't think that it was a big enough budget thing. Now, obviously, usually when it comes to entertainment, no one is ever fully transparent, and usually the truth lies somewhere in the middle. I wouldn't be surprised if there were tepid or okay I guess I should say test screenings for this movie before it would have hit HBO Max and allegedly the box office, because they had been talking about maybe releasing it in theaters too, actually a while ago, and it did film and finish filming and its production in total in 2022, and it was just going to be in post-production. It was in the final stages of post-production, basically saying that it was going to be probably at about 90% completion right now, if not more. It was really just things like VFX and stuff like that behind the scenes happening, but now that it's not happening, I guess they're just kind of throwing it out. It's interesting to me because you would think that it would at least be worth something like a physical release for hardcore DC collectors, or just to kind of put onto HBO Max, even if it wasn't good. Who knows if it was. But it also could be that the canon is changing. You know, we've seen with sort of a changing of the guard with the Discovery merger that they have wanted to take some things in different directions than what WB apparently wanted to do before that merger. Could very easily be something like that. It's odd to me because they did apparently have a lot of passion for this movie, at least according to the directors, which I can't pronounce their names right, I'm sure, but Adil El Arbi and Bilal Fallah. It's worth noting there was a little bit of controversy around some of the director's stuff. I think, oh man, it was months ago. I feel like it was about a year ago. We talked about it on this channel, but you know, it kind of the director backpedaled or said basically like, hey, I was just joking around with the statement they made. I think it was about fans being stupid, basically. And then they kind of backpedaled on that, and then that all kind of went away because for once someone in Hollywood kind of said like, hey, I said that wrong. Usually it's like a triple down and taking it back to the bank for some reason, but this time it wasn't. So it's odd to me because they did seem passionate about it. They had talked about doing homages to the Tim Burton style of movies for Batman and the animated series of Batman and all kinds of other stuff in this. I don't really know what to think. I mean, we saw really nothing. We saw really no footage. We saw a couple of photos, I guess, of a suit that I thought looked okay, that probably would have been replaced. Really, overall, I just feel kind of bad for the people involved in this movie. Like, I'm sure they were still paid, but it's gotta kind of suck to be Michael Keaton, you know, and you kind of come back finally, and you're involved in The Flash, and you're involved in this, but then the controversies around Ezra Miller being a maniac, and you know, then this happening on Batgirl, it's like, what project is that person involved in, Michael Keaton, that's not going to be tainted by some garbage, or won't be released? And then you have Ben Affleck coming back and allegedly having some stuff to do with The Flash, and that being kind of tainted, and now Ben is coming back for Aquaman 2, which is tainted with Amber Heard. Basically what I'm saying is there's a lot of weird behind-the-scenes stuff going on with WB, and I've said it before, they have made a billion weird decisions. Hardcore studio interference on the Ayer Suicide Squad. I'm not saying it would have been better, I don't know if it would have been, but they really got their hands in there, and what we got, not very good. You know, the using Zack Snyder's family tragedy, in my opinion, to fire him from the universe and not really bring him back until fans had to basically wind their butts off for years, and then they finally got sort of the movie he wanted to make. That was a WB decision. Firing Johnny Depp from Fantastic Beasts despite having to pay them, him, just because they were that petty, WB decision. Keeping Amber Heard, at least for now, on Aquaman, WB decision. Ezra Miller's Flash still being greenlit, despite the alleged gun pulling and the on-camera threats towards other people in a gas station and the choking of someone outside of a bar, I believe in Iceland, and all this other crap. WB decision, right? I don't know what is going on with WB. Like, I have no idea, because I know a lot of DC fans, they're not like me. I know, and I don't mean that in like I'm different, you know, like I'm a unique girl. What I mean by that is a lot of DC fans are not a big fan of the MCU right now, right? Like, a lot of people have kind of picked a lane, and that's kind of their thing. Personally, I enjoy both. And despite what people might say about the MCU right now, I know a lot of people didn't like Thor as much as I did. I know a lot of people didn't enjoy Moon Knight or Miss Marvel or a lot of that stuff, and I'm kind of just picking and choosing what I watch now. They're making money. You know, the MCU has always made money. Even the few times that they didn't really make much, like the Eternals and stuff like that, they're never really in the hole overall, right? They've got theme park attractions, and they own the comic industry practically. Insane amounts of money coming in from the MCU itself. They have constant promotion. They have video games coming out. And it's interesting to me to just watch WB continually drop the ball. It's possible that this was a bad movie. It's very possible. It still feels a little unfair to all the people involved to just can it, but whatever, maybe the continuity changed. It wasn't a great movie, and maybe there is a logical reason for moving past it. But when WB declines to comment and doesn't say anything at all and won't get out there, won't get in front of any of this, and just kind of runs radio silence while making tons of questionable decisions across the course of its last, I don't know, decade of operations, it's just really hard to take kind of this stuff in stride and just assume that WB knows what they're doing. I don't really think they've known what they're doing for a long time, and that's coming from someone who loves the WB properties. I love the DC universe, you know, I love the Bat family in particular, and the Superman characters in particular, and I love the old dceu. I wish they'd bring that back. You know, it's just sad to kind of watch WB constantly make weird decisions and never justify them. They remind me of an unlikable Mr. Krabs, but that you can never see the motivations behind the decision making of. It's like all they see is dollar signs, but somehow they still don't make money. I really don't understand it. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you think this would have been a good movie? Do you not? I really don't know at all. I'm interested to know what you think about the whole thing, I guess. I'm just kind of surprised by it. And what you think about the continuity going forward? Do you think that they're kind of streamlining things, trying to line them up more to be in order, like of a new continuity, and kind of go the Marvel approach and slow down, I guess, to start, you know, like kind of going back to phase 1? And I guess, what are your thoughts on the whole Flash thing? Because, I don't know, I don't really want to pay for Aquaman 2 or the Flash anymore, to be honest, because of everything around Amber and everything around Ezra. I don't think I'm like changing the world and boycotting the movies and making a big difference, but just with my money, I just don't really care as much anymore. I would like to see them eventually when I'm not giving WB money for it, but I don't know. I'm interested to hear what your thoughts are on that just still going and this being canned and the weirdness over there. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Please be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content. I appreciate you very, very much. And of course, down below in the description, we have everything as always, including Patreon, a Discord, a Facebook actually. I've started making TikToks over on 2 different TikTok accounts. Our secondary channel, Degenerate Plays, where we make tons of stuff. My wife, Jill's Etsy, Enchanted Glamour, where she makes all kinds of stuff, and she's gonna start doing customized, personalized pet paintings. That's like a Dr. Seuss rhyme, coming soon. So I hope you'll check all that out. And as always, everyone, stay shway.